He was a cantankerous old fellow that loved the Toronto Maple Leafs, loved the teams, loved to win, but didn't know anything about hockey. He loved everything else about it, but he really didn't know, and he wanted to put his fingers in and around everything. And he's one of those guys. I remember he had the sugar diabetes, and him and remember King Clancy was the last two guys who were getting along, and they were always on airplane rides. When I first got to Toronto, we used to charter a twin prop, and then we got that canceled because King Clancy told the stewardess that old fellow wasn't allowed chocolate. He's a diabetic. Well, she didn't know that Harold Ballard owned the Toronto Maple Leafs because she didn't know who Harold Ballard was. So on the plane ride, she wouldn't allow Harold any chocolate bars. So when the plane line landed back in Toronto, he canceled all flights with Air Ontario. We were back to flying commercial planes everywhere, all because somebody wouldn't give him chocolate bars. He was the kind of guy that when a lot of people that say are living on the street and outside the gardens was a pretty tough area. And if he was coming in and one of them fellas had come up to him, he would offer them a job as long as they didn't drink and they could show up for work on time. So they were working the turnstiles, they'd work outside the door, all like my security guys today could do. Relatively the same stuff. But he was always helping those guys and didn't want to be recognized for it, or he'd donate money and he didn't want to be recognized. He wanted to be known as the gruff old guy that nobody liked. That was his thing. And the biggest thing, and you know, he has his cottage in cottage country, everything was blue and white. So picture you're a cottage owner and you went up and your cottage is on Georgian Bay and you're right beside Harold Ballard. Everything on his property was blue and white. The flags were blue and white, the cottage was blue and white, the boathouse was blue and white, the bridges were blue and white, all the flowers were blue and white. So anywhere you went, you recognized who Harold Ballard was. And our trainer, to tell you how much he liked cottage country, our head trainer, Guy Kinnear, who was a heck of a guy, he was Harold's boat mechanic. So our trainer in the NHL was a boat mechanic. You no wonder why I was injured 400 games when I played, right? Our lead trainer, to say how much hockey's changed today, is our head trainer was a buddy of Harold's and was a boat mechanic in Midland, Ontario. He brought Harold, he became the trainer of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he'd lean over, he'd throw a little A5, 3-5 on you, and if that wasn't good enough, just play or don't play. That's as simple as it got in the 80s when I started. So the medical system's changed a little bit since then. But Harold was always liked the family and the friends. I know he treated my dad great. He got to go down and sit in the bunker because, you know, the big thing is watching the game. You get to see Harold in the bunker. So for my dad to go down and watch a hockey game in the bunker, that was the holy grail of hockey, to watch him on CBC Hockey Night in Canada and looking out over the ice. So that was huge to be down there, and he really did get along with everybody and like everybody.